Hello, good morning. Right, today I have decided we are going to make a lovely cup of flowers. So, just realised I hadn't tidied off my desk, but what is new there? So we are going to be playing with our lovely coffee cup. So we've got two sayings on there: life happens, coffee helps, and coffee makes everything possible. And then I have just got two of our flowers. So I think I'm going to do a bit of flower in the cup. And you'll notice I've got my journal. I haven't worked in my journal for ages. So that is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to work in my journal and we're going to make a nice little floral arrangement in a coffee cup. Because who doesn't have flowers in a coffee cup? Yeah. So that is what we are starting with today. So as always, I am just going to choose a page to work on in my journal. I don't like going from big front to back because that first page is really daunting to work on. Yep. So what I normally do is put my book together, and you'll see we've got pages in here already. We've got some lovely florals there. We've got our birdies. You can see I just randomly choose a page. I like that one. To work on a bit of butterfly. Some more flowers. I also like that flower set. So that's how I choose my pages and what I'm going to work on each day. So there we go. That's today's page we are going to work on. For some reason my camera is really far back. I'm having to really stretch. There you go. Not so much stretching now. Ish. There we go. Ish. No, excuse Griff. Right, that'll do. You can just about see my page. So I'm going to start off with a bit of a background, and I think I'm going to go with a good old splodge on there. So I need to think of my colours, don't I? I'm thinking these guys are going to be yellow, and this one I think is a nice shocking pink. So we're going to have yellow and pink as our foreground. Not sure what colour I'll do my cup. Maybe blue. Yeah, maybe. We'll decide as we go along. So my background then needs to work with yellow and pink. So I've already got pink. Got green on my desk. I'm going to grab a yellow. Oh, actually, I'll leave no, I want it bright yellow. So I'm going to go for that one. Really bright yellow. So that's my flowers sorted, and now I need my background sorted. So pink and yellow in the background. I think I'm going to go with blues. Foreground for my flowers. So I think I'm going to go with blues for my background. And I know I'm adding lots and lots of colour to here, but I will do because it's my journal and I love working in my journal and experimenting with colours. Should I do cracked pistachio maybe? I want kind of those, what I'm actually looking for is salvage patina. Ooh, squeaky chair. Always a squeaky chair. Little lady has actually asked for a new chair for her room for Christmas, so she said I can have her old one. I know, I'm honoured. Oh, there we go. Let's do a bit of speckled egg. And I'm looking for the flamingos. If I can't find the flamingos, we'll go with something else. No, but I did see one lipstick a minute ago, so we'll go with one lipstick instead. I would have preferred to use my flamingo, but can't find it in my pile. Right, so I'm going to actually swap it out. I'm going to do one lipstick and cracked pistachio. Proper old school colours, those two, aren't they? Alright, let me find a piece of acetate and we can get splodging with our squeaky chair. Right, sorted now. We have colours, we have an idea. It's always a good place to start. And we can get crafting. So I'm just going to onto my piece of acetate because I want to be a bit controlled about where I'm putting everything. Give it a bit of a spritz. Need a bit more water on that. It's not moving as much as I like it to. There we go. I always forget that this journal likes to suck your ink, which isn't a bad thing. I just forget. I need to add a little bit more water than I normally would. Morning, Mum. And I just need this to be dry. Again, I'm going to be layering up. So, I need this to be super dry so that when I come to put my pink on, we don't get muddy colours. There we go, there's that one. And then we need to do it all again with our pink. Again, let's just get that spritzed. Here I've gone a lot more wet with this one. Oops. That was me trying to do dots and dabs. And this is just our background, isn't it? It's not... Okay. That will do. And we'll get that bit dry as well. So I love doing splodgy backgrounds. They're just so quick and easy. And you never quite know what you're going to get. And I'm pleased I couldn't find my flamingo because that cracked pistachio has worked really well with our walnut stick. I'm just going to dry the back of the page as well, just in case. This isn't, like I say, this isn't my usual paper. This is more of a mixed media paper. It's got a lot more texture and it holds the water a lot more. It's like a hybrid between a normal paper and a watercolour paper. Right. So, full splodgy background. That's what we wanted, wasn't it? I'm just going to open up my book. I can work in this bit now. I'm going to keep with my oxides for the minute, and we're going to choose one of our sentiments. And I think coffee makes everything perfect, possible, or life happens, coffee helps. I think that's the one for today. There we go. And what I'm going to do, because I've got to bear in mind I've got this lovely spine that we like because it's keeping my book together. But it's also going to cause me a few little problems in a minute when we come to start stamping everything. So just bear that in mind when you put in your stamp onto your stamping block. I've done it as close to this side as possible so that it's not going to impact on there. So again, I'm just going to grab some of my colours, my two that I've used for my background, and we're just going to stamp this all over. Now, I am going to stamp this all over because I haven't got a clue where my coffee cup's going to go or my flowers. So I can't even try and be clever and go, oh, we're only going to do bits. Because it doesn't work like that today. Just inking it up. Can't really see this one, but it is. It is there. Right, I think I'm going. That's it for me. Right, pistachio. I need to move it to one side. Morning, Maxine. There we go. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with our pink. And then I think I'm quite okay with my background then. Don't think we need to do much more with my background after this. Well, we might do, but I don't know what we need to do yet, so. Right, I'm going to leave that there. So really quick, easy background that you can do with any of your stamps. Pick a couple of colours and then splodge it and then stamp it. Really easy. Like I say, one of my favourite backgrounds to do. And I do that quite a lot. So I'm going to pop this to one side because it takes up most of my desk. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't. That'll do. And so I didn't bring. They look like backgrounds off cards, don't they? And didn't bring any stamps. Card with me to stamp onto. So we'll use these instead. I used up my scrap the other day. I was really good, you know, when I got it in my head that I must use that scrap pile up, and I did. So I'd have to go rooting otherwise. So I need, there it is, looking for my big stamp base. And okay, I'm just going to stamp 2 of these flowers because I fancy 2 of these and 1 of the other onto our background. Cup full of loveliness, haven't we? Make sure we ink this up really well. I'll put that one there. And then we'll pop the other one down here. Oh, that's really bad inking. See the state of that? Look. And I know it's onto scrap card, but even so, that is just setting myself up to fail. It is a good habit to clean your stamp bases off if you get ink on. And there we go, there's that one. So we'll pop that up there. We need to dry these in a moment. I'm telling you in case I forget. Nothing worse is that when you've forgot to dry something and then you come to add colour to it and it all just runs. Okay, we've got our other little flower. Molten again. Do that up here and then hope we will get our cup on here as well. So we might as well do all our stamping in one go, haven't we, really? It's not like me to know what I want to do. There we go. And grab a cup. stamp this one as well. Need to clean up my stamp base. Shocking today. Got a proper splat that ink on today. There we go. There we go. See, that was a lot neater, wasn't it? I can be neat when I want to be. So I'm going to stamp my cup and then we'll decide, after we've painted it, whether we want to add that sentiment to it again. Haven't quite decided. There we go. Got black ink all over my fingers. And let's give these a quick dry because I'm going to go in with my brush out on the flowers. And the last thing I want to do with my brush out, obviously because you had so much water, it's going to make that black ink run and we don't want that. These two as well. Right, there we go. And I'm just going to chop these up, because otherwise I'll spend more time dancing with pieces of paper than I will actually colouring in. And that's where I end up forgetting to do green bits and things like that. So I'm going to put my cup to one side because he definitely doesn't have any green bits on him. We're going to have our 3 flowers. See, it's so much easier to colour them in when you can see them all the right way, can't you? And then I'm going to start with my green. I always start with my green. It's like starting with the background, isn't it? Just a little pop of our green. And as always, I'm going to start off with it really watered down, just to get some colour on there. And then we're going to go back with a bit more concentrated and just add little bits. Yep. Nothing too complicated. So there's that one done. Well, green bits are done. We'll do the same with this one. So I must remember these bits, because I am forever forgetting to do those bits. The amount of times I've come to cut this one out, and it's like, oh, I've forgotten that bit again. So I'm just drying my brush off a little bit because it was getting a bit too watery. I'm holding too much water even. All words today are failing me. There we go. And just add in a few little bits. Not even, nothing too much, just little bits. Because you've got that sketchy feel, haven't you, to these designs. There we go. And then move it across. Here's that rain again. Poor bear, he's got bikeability today. He's going to be getting very, very wet. But it's a very exciting day having bikeability, so might not be too much of an issue again, him getting wet all day. So again, I'm not even trying to make this blend in, I'm trying to just give that sketchy feel. Right, that'll do. And then we'll get these painted, coloured even, the colour of our flower. There we go. We're going to go yellow. I love doing this flower in yellow. Yellow or orange. I think it looks amazing. It's funny, isn't it, when you always reach for the same colour for the same stamp, if that makes sense. I've got a few that I do that with. Bright yellow flower. Well, it's not that bright yet, but it will be when we're finished. Just add in a little bit more to the base of those petals. There we go. So one gorgeous yellow flower. I'm not going to get a second. You'll notice I keep taking some of the water out of my brush, and that's because when it gets too soggy, it just kind of blobs on your paper, and you don't want that. You want it wet enough so it moves, but not too wet, that you're just leaving puddles behind. There we go. And then we'll go in with our more pigment. My brush is too wet again now, so I'm just gonna. I haven't got much pigment left on my desk, but that's okay. I'll find bits. Or we will pop a little bit more on. Yeah, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. I'm gonna do it away from that wet patch, otherwise I could end up getting it in my tub, and that's never a good thing. You don't want to activate a tub of brush or... There we go. Right, so there's our yellow one done. And then we're going to do our pink one next. It's about the time for a new tissue. Oops. Fingers and thumbs. Right, so I'm going to have a nice big bright one. I think I always go for pink because that looks a bit like a love heart, that first petal, doesn't it? I think that's why I always go for pink on mine. There we go. And again, I'm just going to whack it with a very watered down wash almost. Oops, didn't clean my brush out. I've now got peachy coloured. There we go. Right, and then we're going to go grab and start. Ooh, that was a bit dark. Never mind. We'll make it work. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. It takes no time at all, does it? Oh, right, fingers and thumbs. It's because I keep stacking it up on top of everything else. Right, and now we need to decide. Oops, a daisy. Not that over. We need to decide what we're doing about our cup. You know what I think we're going to do? We are going to pop them back up there. I'm going to make sure my brush hasn't got pink in it. No, but it's got a lot of yellow still in it. Because we're going to go back to our cracked pistachio, because I think that would look quite nice. And the last thing I wanted to do was start painting it and have pink coming out at the same time. Okay, right, where did I put it? There it is. Would have to drive me desk better. I can see it's shining from here. Everything falling around. I'll put quite a bit of this on my desk. And then we're just going to do exactly the same. Lots of water, less ink. And do a quick wash over. And then this one tells you where to go a bit darker. So we've got this bit here that needs to be a bit darker. Again, just a bit darker down this side. I'm going to go for a bit of middle ground on our lip. I forgot what it was called then. And then again for our handle. A bit of oomph around there as well. Right, jobs are good in. Clean that up. So now is the time I need to decide, am I putting that sentiment in our cup or not? No, I'm not. Because we've got quite a busy background. We might need to add a few more little stamps to that. But it is quite busy too, so I'm just going to give this a quick dry. And whilst I'm drying it, I want to know if I can see my... Right, one job at once. I'll search for my knife in a minute so I can give it a quick cut. I want to split across the lip of the cup. How cool does that look? Doesn't really come across on the screen, does it? It's a little cracked pistachio. And then we've brought our background to our foreground, and we've done the same with that pink as well. So there's elements of our background pulled through. And I am making sure these are really dry, because when we come to start manhandling them in a minute to put them out, any bits of moisture will reactivate them. So if they're already wet, you're making it twice as hard for ourselves. We've done quite a good job of drying already, to be honest. And the next one. Right, so you should be in this pot. There it is. Right down at the bottom. Come on. There we go. And I just need a little board for me to slice on. Okay. Can't reach my board, but I can reach my mat from the cutting machine, so I'll use that instead. Because that gets cut, doesn't it? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut down this inner lip so we can we should now, oh come on, be able to just slide our little flowers in there, and I think it just gives it that little, it'd be fine if we just put our flowers behind, but I think if you've got the opportunity to, it's well worth snipping in. Right, let's make sure they go back with my machine. We're just going to cut these out as always. We are going to leave a little border too, but I want to get this bit first. Thank you. I'm going to start with my tricky bits and then we can go from there, can't we? I'm just making myself a bit of a hole so we've got a big, better place to work. And now we can go in for that cut. I think it's stopped raining now. Hopefully it'll just be little showers all day. Or hopefully it'll stop raining completely, but you never know, do you? Yep, so we've got our cup. Oops. There we go. Let me grab my book. So he's going to go somewhere down there. Do one of our yellow flowers first. Because I've assumed that 3 will fit in nicely, but it might be too much for our little cup. So I'm going to cut the whole thing out, and then we might end up trimming that stalk down. Oh no, it's still raining. I don't normally worry about the rain, however, when I'm going to have a very wet bike to get back in my car at the end of the day. Ugh. And a wet child. Again, just cutting around. Yeah, I could have done this by masking, couldn't I? And that would have looked just as good. So the first thing to send would have been your cup, then your pink flower, because that's going to be in the foreground, and then my other 2. There we go. I'm just going to slide that in. Looks like it's just taking a little break, just hanging out there. I'm going to do my other yellow one, I think. We should have plenty of space, shouldn't we? I need to go and sort that bit out, don't I? Well, you can't see. I do end up cutting closer to me than I realise. There we go. Looks a bit better, doesn't it? Just going to do this bit as well. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Can't decide if I want to do something on that cup or not. Because you've got quite a busy background going on. Oops. Trying to cut out quicker, it's not working. Okay, I'll slide this one in too. There we go, and then we'll pop this one in. And again, we've got that lovely little border around our flowers. That's when I've cut them out. It just helps make them stand out from the background. It gives them that matte, doesn't it? And it makes cutting out a bit easier. Oops. That one stalk's a bit spindly. There we go, right. I think, again, you will slot this one through. Oops, come on. Thank you. And now we can arrange them a bit better, can't we? It's always the arranging bit I get a bit trouble with. I'll decide how I want them. Yeah, I think it needs to fit on my page a bit better. Oh, it's because I've rammed that one in, isn't it? If I just snip up. No time at all to paint and colour, but to sort out a few little flowers and arrange them takes me forever. A bit more movability on that leaf. There we go. Yeah. So I am going to pop that down there, and I think I'm going to put our saying up in this top corner. I do. Okay, move that to one side. Oops. Did I save enough on our scrap? Probably not. Right. I'm going to stamp it, and if we don't like it, we don't like it. We don't have to use it, do we? Wrestling to find it. So life happens, coffee helps. Oh, there's a bigger piece. Ooh. Just nudge my mouse, then that's never a good thing, is it? Put that one over there. And again. Right, let's move the mouse out of the way. There we go. I'm just going to stamp our little life happens, coffee helps. Nearly straight. It'll do. Just don't look too close. And I'm just going to grab some face paint. Oh no, that's green. I thought I had a piece of turquoise in my scrap box. And it's a bit too green. Oh, but I've got some pink. Oops, there we go. That'll work. This page has turned very pink, hasn't it? I wasn't going for pink, but it has turned out very pink. I'm just going to try this down. It wasn't that skew squiff, was it? I've done worse. Going for the textured side. I mean, if the paper's got a textured side, I should really use it, shouldn't I? A teeny tiny bit of border. That will do. There we go. And now we can see. Yay, there we go, see? It does, doesn't it? Right, so I'm just going to glue. Am I happy with that arrangement now? I quite like that one sticking up a little bit. Yep. Carefully pick them up. She says. Without moving them too much. Let's just move that back over a bit. Thank you. And I'm going to cheat. I was looking for some double-sided tape, however, I'm going to use some washi tape. I thought I had some red tape on my desk, which I seem to have mislaid. I'm going to trim that back a little bit so it's not showing. And then we can get some foam pads behind it, can't we? Though in my journal I probably don't want too much depth, but I also can't resist because it looks quite nice. So, okay. Oh, I'll stick that down in a minute. It's one of them chicken and egg, isn't it? I'm just going to add a little bit of what do you call it? Floofing, I call it. There we go. So turn that over again. We can add some foam pads now. So I want my cup to be raised in the middle. My flowers I'm going to do the same with. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to my handle. And I think, oh, would help if I took the backs off my foam pads, wouldn't it? I know it's been a long morning. Is it still morning? Yes, it's still morning. Come on. Thank you. And again. Oh, I've just put my finger in my glue. I know some people. I'm going to pop that there. I left myself enough room now. I have to go to the side a bit more. There we go, that's better, isn't it? That is better, so we'll pop it on that side. That's what we're getting. Coffee helps, not helps. Coffee might help, but it helps more. There we go. And at the moment I've got this cup and it's floating and it's really disturbing me. So to finish it off now, we know where we have placed it. I'm just going to grab either weathered wood, lost shadow, or hickory smoke, whichever one comes first. There we go, weathered wood. Any of those, because they've got that lovely grey tinge to them, haven't they? And we're just going to ground our cup. Not because it's been naughty, but because it's floating. And we're not in space. Well, we are in space, aren't we, technically? But you know what I mean. There we go. How much better does that look? Because I've now not got a cup that's floating off. Ooh, I nearly threw my paintbrush in the bin instead of my tissue. Won't be the first time. And then finally, because it is a journal page and I like to keep track of what I've done, because it's always nice to look back, isn't it? I like to put a date on there, but before I do, I just need to dry what I'm going to write. And I need to work out the date. The 16th it is today. Oh my, it's probably the wettest bit so far. But it does look better, doesn't it, once it's been grounded? And you can't really do that until you put everything on your page. There we go. And then I'm just going to write, probably in this bottom corner. Oops. Wednesday playtime. 16th of the 10th, 2024. There we go. So then we know. Oops. I moved my camera in, so there we go. We know when we did it. When we look back through our journal, because it's always nice to look back through, and especially because I don't do mine in order. I randomly choose pages. That one I didn't even date, so that was rude, wasn't it? But there you go. One lovely journal page using our cups, our coffee cup, and 2 of our florals. So I think that's number 3, and I think that might be number 2. Yeah, lovely cup of flowers there for this rather wet Wednesday. So that's it for me today. Thank you for joining me. We won't be here next week because it is half term and we don't know what we're doing yet, so I don't know where I'll be. So I'm going to be taking next week off from our lives, but I will be back the following Monday, which I think on the top of my head is the 21st, I think. So no lives next week, but we will be back the week after on the Monday for some more monthly makes. I do like that. I love that pink flower. It really does stand out, doesn't it? These two look like they're just falling over. But they definitely need the coffee, don't they? They're crawling out the coffee cup. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Do take care, stay safe, and I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.